Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Stew. This is Liam with our very first deck tech. I'm excited, I hope you are too. Today we'll be playing Boros Vehicles. Now this is a rendition of a deck that I've played before, built one for Melissa a while back. She didn't really like it, she's not a fan of vehicles. This version takes advantage of cards from Ixalan, and I'm honestly not sure if anybody's done a deck tech on this particular setup before. If somebody has, well, this is probably going to be a little bit different. Either way, you're in for a fun ride, pun intended. Yes. Bad pun, bad pun. Let's start with creatures. First off, we have 3 Veteran Motorists, and this is a little bit deceiving. 1, it's inexpensive. 2, it lets us scry for 2. And 3, it's a lightning rod. And 3.5, if you can get in with some damage, you can actually stir some stuff up with this card. Typically, this is going to be the first one that they're going to try to destroy, and that is a good thing. You're keeping their removal off of your other cards. In extreme circumstances, we can do things with our enchantments that make him a little bit more difficult to deal with when playing against certain decks. Next up, we have 2 Depala Pilot Exemplars. She helps to pump up all of our other creature cards, plus she's excellent for card draw in the event that you are actually able to either attack with her or crew a vehicle with her. Now, keep in mind, the goal in this deck is typically not to crew a vehicle. You usually won't have to do that. I'll show you why in just a minute. And lastly, we have 4 copies of Restoration Specialist because we are going to want to be able to bring artifacts and enchantments both back to our hand. This guy is a great chump blocker. You block their biggest, baddest mofo, and then you sacrifice him to bring something else back into your hand. It is a beautiful thing. Let's move on to the vehicles, shall we? 4 Consulate Dreadnoughts. Put this sucker out on turn 1 or 2, and your opponent will be scratching their head going, huh? Are they really playing this crap? It takes like 6 to crew this guy. I mean, yeah, he's at 7, 11, but seriously? I'm definitely going to win this game. Little do they know, turn 3 is a doozy. We've also got 4 Peacewalker Colossus, 3 colorless mana, and for 1 white and 1 colorless, you're able to turn another vehicle into a creature. We are able to use this to great effect if you have 2 Peacewalker Colossus, or should I say Colossi, in play, and they are able to bring each other to life. They can and will be used on our other vehicles. And we're going to round these off with 3 Fleetwheel Cruiser. For 3 mana, you're able to put this 5 power, 3 toughness, badass dragster into play and run somebody over with it. If it doesn't die as a glorified ball lightning, we're going to use those Peacewalker Colossi and whatever else we can to bring this sucker back to life and run more people over. Maybe I should have changed the name of this deck. Maybe I should have called it Pedestrian's Bane, or, I don't know, something like Red-White Hot Rod Robot Boat. I don't know. Give me some other creative names for this deck in the comments. Spells are next, and if you didn't guess it by now, you probably should have. We have 4 Siege Modification. For 2 red mana and 1 colorless, you're able to bring one of these creatures to life permanently with a +3/+0 and first strike. This is how you get a turn 3, 10 power, 11 toughness, first strike, badass dude boat thing. Now let's keep in mind, this doesn't have to just go on your vehicles. You can put this on your creatures as well, and I have done that in several games, and it has won the game for me many times. We're also going to play with 3 copies of Start Your Engines. For 1 red and 3 colorless mana, you're able to bring all of your vehicles to life as creatures and give every creature on your board +2/+0. All in all, counting the Peacewalkers, which, by the way, can use their effect multiple times per Peacewalker, this gives us 11 ways to bring these vehicles to life. Start Your Engines is sorcery speed, and it's only a 1-use card, but if you're playing this card, you are probably doing something that's winning you the game, especially if we're going to combine it with some of these other spells we've got coming up right now. And they are 2 mainboard Invigorated Rampage. For just 2 mana, a red and a colorless, you're able to cast this instant card and choose one. Either target creature gets +4 power and 0 toughness and gains trample until the end of turn, or 2 target creatures gain 2 power, 0 toughness, and trample until the end of turn. This is another card that just wins us the game. And yes, it's only a 2 of, but there are 2 more in the sideboard. And let's talk about removal. 3 shocks and 4 lightning strikes. And when I cast these, I'm killing something, whether it's your creatures or your face. It is so much fun using these giant vehicles to whack your opponent down to next to nothing, and then, out of nowhere, you finish them off with a lightning strike or a shock or both. I wish I could see the looks on their faces. Hell, I wish I could see the looks on their faces when they first see a 10-11 first strike coming at them on turn 3. On to the lands. We've got kind of a boring setup with lands this time around. 4 Inspiring Vantage, 9 plains, and 11 mountains. And that's that. Nothing to it. We put down lands and we cast things. So let's move on to sideboard. First off, we have 3 Sheltering Light, which is a 1 white mana instant. Nobody expects that 1 plains or 1 Inspiring Vantage that you left up to be able to do what this card can do. And that is to completely undo their destruction spells and allow you to scry to fix your next draw. Love it. We've also got 3 Cast Out, 3 Settle the Wreckage against the nasty aggros, 4 copies of Abrade should you ever need them, and 2 more Invigorated Rampage because why not add a couple more win cons? If it's that easy, let's make it easier. Now I've gotten a lot of compliments on this deck. It is a hell of a lot of fun to play. This is the second version of it that I've made in the last couple of days. The first version was a little slower. There were some 5 drops. We had aerial modification in there. I don't really recommend using that one. I only got to cast it, I think, in 1 game. And yeah, it won the game. But typically, by the time you're able to cast that, in a competitive match especially, the game's going to be over before you get there. In my experience, this deck has a better than 50-50 chance of winning most matches unless you are matched up against Team or Energy and they are playing that bane to my deck's existence confiscation coup. Okay, I feel a little bit better now, but not really, because that really, really, really hurts. You're sitting pretty with a Dreadnought, and then they take your Dreadnought, and then they start to hit you with your Dreadnought. I've been coming across that card a lot lately. Expect this deck to run you about $15 or 15 tickets online, and about 50 in paper. Now you can water it down a little bit, spend about 7 tickets online, or about $30 if you replace the Abrades and the Settle the Wreckage with either Fragmentize and maybe Dusk/Dawn. It's not optimal, but it could work. And for a deck this fun, well worth it. So as far as our rankings go, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being a deck that can win Grand Prix or MTGO leagues, and 5 being one that, well, it'll win some, it'll lose some, but it's fun to play. I'm giving this one a 6 because 6 isn't even a score. I'm giving this one a 3 because it wins games in tournament practice, but I was not able to win points with it in 1 versus 1 play for player points. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed the deck. Please like this video so that we know that we're doing the right thing here. And don't forget to subscribe because we've got a lot more coming to you. And stay tuned, I've got gameplay videos coming right up.